What is Feng Shui? What is my experience with Feng Shui, especially when I decorated my bedroom according to the rules and laws of Feng Shui? What happened to me afterwards? What is this book, Feng Shui for Entertaining, and why am I not going to continue reading it? In this video of Unique View. I'm Theresa Khalil, a writer, a documentary filmmaker, and you know that I'm on a journey to understand life, where I'm meeting people who change their beliefs. You can find the series The Scrapbook of Life on this channel in a podcast and also on Spotify and Apple Podcast. So I'm someone who's open to the mystery, to anything that is mysterious, anything from other cultures as well. And I was always attracted, as someone coming from the Arabic world, to the Far East, to China, to Japan, what beliefs they have, and how they explain this experience of existence and what they say about it. And one of the things that I discovered is the Feng Shui. And Feng Shui is, as they write here, it's the ancient Chinese art of arranging objects to maximize the energy in the environment. So it helps you to balance your life and create or attract events to your life that you want to experience and maybe achieve happiness and basically improve your life. I'm someone who doesn't only believe in science. I'm open to the unknown. And I believe that not everything could be explained by science because, as I said, life is mysterious. So when I was about to decorate my bedroom, I had the book, Bedroom Feng Shui, and I thought it's a good chance for me to get inspired by Feng Shui, try to design the room according to those rules, so that I improve different aspects of my life. And you can find the video on my Arabic channel with English subtitle. I will leave a link to it. So the idea was that the room is divided into sections. Section for health, section for money or blessings and luck, section for, let's say, traveling, discovering the world, section for relationships. And I took this into consideration when I was designing the bedroom. And I can tell you now, after many years of testing this, let's say about 8 years now. So for example, the corner of relationships, they said that I need to put something that, romantic, reflect love and all that. So I put hearts, I put my wedding gifts, I put things like that. So I made it, this is the romantic corner. And I didn't notice that my relation improved or got better, or it was the normal. And then a few years later, I actually decided to change this corner and make it, instead of this romantic corner, I made it for work. I put my desk, which is for editing and all that, but also I do creative work, DIYs, crafting in this same corner. And my relationship got better and better. But definitely, what I want to say is that according to the Feng Shui laws and rules, when I put the corner the way that's supposed to be in Feng Shui, nothing really much happened. But later on, my relationship got better and better because, when you know someone better as time passed by, your marriage settled more and you live in peace more. So it had nothing to do with the Feng Shui. One also of the things that I was inspired by in Feng Shui is to cover the mirrors because it's not good energy. And so I covered my mirror when I was designing the room. And I still believe that this is a good idea, not because of the Feng Shui, but because mirrors are distracting. So when you have a mirror all the time reflecting you, reflecting other things, it's distracting. So I like this about Feng Shui. Another thing was that I should not put the bed in front of the door because this means that someone will die, And I was always having this in my background because I was never able to change the bed position because that was the only possibility for the bed to be facing the door. I was a bit worried for those past 8 years. Oh my God, what if I die? What if I... Well, I didn't let it affect me much, but it was still there. And there is something in the Feng Shui that they tell you, oh, if you have to put the bed in front of the door, then maybe you put a crystal in them in between. And I don't know, I didn't have any crystals, I didn't know where to get them from. But I would say that I tested this theory because 8 years of the bed facing the door, I think it doesn't really work. And now let's talk about this book. I always give the thing a chance and a 2 and a 3 because I want to test it well, okay? And also I'm interested in the concept. So this is Feng Shui for Entertaining for Sarah Bartlett. And the idea is, and why I was interested in this, is because I entertain, or I was making events for expats and locals here in Croatia to socialize. And I always preferred small events. So my events were about, maybe we have 6, 7 people maximum. Sometimes it get like 15, but not usually. So we come, we usually have cooking or something, or crafting, or just chit-chatting about a certain topic around the table. And in this book, they talk about that, how to set the table. And the idea is you need first of all to balance your house energy if you are going to entertain in the house. So you need to check where is the front door, and is it facing north, south, where? And I want to say that Feng Shui is based on the Qi energy. So they say that there is an energy called Qi, which is the energy of life. And even in the atom, where you have the proton and the electron, there is like a vacuum in between. And in this vacuum, you have the Qi. So everything is about the Qi, and we're trying to balance this Qi energy, the life force. So they say here, after you decide where is the door, then you need to check what is your element. So based on your birth date, you need to know what is your element and what is your animal. So for example, I checked my birth date and I'm an ox and I'm water. I checked my husband's Dahmer's birth date and he's a rabbit and he's wood. So you need to check what element is the most dominant in the house. So we have, for example, water and wood, and then check where is your door. Is it north? Is it south? And then you need to balance according to those combinations. And how can you balance? You put, for example, a vase of a certain material somewhere. And to be honest, I really don't know what is this based on. Like, did you, for example, check many houses, check the people's energies, and then, or elements, and then you check where is their front house, and then you see if the Qi is balanced or not? How can you test this Qi? Do you have like something to measure it with? So I don't know. I mean, this really wasn't convincing at all, and so I also believe it is difficult to test. If I see, oh my God, my house is not balanced, and then I go and I buy this vase and certain color and I put it somewhere. But anyway, let's forget about that. After you balance your house, then let's say you are entertaining and you have the table. So you have something called the bagua. It's like a chart where you put it on the table and divide the table into sections, and the host is supposed to be sitting in the section number 1 because this is the energy of organizing and hosting, and then you check each one of your guests' birth date, and according to their element and their animal, you need to decide where they will be sitting on the table. how are you going to ask everyone about their birth date? And what if you already know the birth date, but then you like, and then you put them you make them sit somewhere in around the table. This is supposed to, let's say, reduce the percentage of problems that could occur during the meeting or the gathering, and also it could increase the energy and make the event flow nicely. And I remember once I was organizing an event, and I already set the table and organized everything, and then I had one guest. She was an environment activist, and she came, she saw how I organized the table, and she removed everything, and she was like, "What are you doing? You have plastic cups, paper plates, that's not environment friendly." And she removed everything. And I was, of course, that was such a stressing moment because I didn't know how to deal with this person. But I don't think, no matter where I put this person around the table, that it would have made a difference, right? Because she's an environment activist, and she would have, and according to her character and personality, she would have done this anyway. Later on, we chit-chatted, and she invited me to a workshop about environment activities and what's happening about plastic and all that. And actually, it was very eye-opening, and since that time, I'm definitely reducing my plastic consumption and only keeping it for the essentials. So it ended up well because I managed the situation nicely. I didn't make a problem out of it. But I don't see how Feng Shui would have helped in such a situation by making her sit somewhere else on the table or around the table. They also have here dividing the people according to their elements. For example, I'm water, so I would get more harmonious with water, metal, and wood. I wouldn't agree much with fire and earth. So it's better not to put someone beside me who's fire, for example. And also they say if like most of the guests are, let's say, water, then you need to balance the table by putting something fiery, like candles or some red table mats or something. It comes also to food and how that food is also categorized to neutral, cooling, and heating. And you need to put on the table food from the three categories so that they are balanced. So you have heating, cooling, and neutral foods. So for example, neutral like bread, chicken, rice, milk. Cooling like cucumber, asparagus, mushroom, tea, tomatoes. Heating like potatoes, cheese, ham, green pepper. What about the rest of the food? After this experience, and actually I didn't continue this book. Why? Because, as I said, I just felt that, first of all, when you are organizing an event, it's headache already. You have a lot to think about. And this will make you complicate your life more. Because you need to check what are the birth dates of the people. You need to see how to divide the table into sections. Where is your front door? How to balance the energy in the house. And then who to sit beside who. Is my table balanced or not? And I need to put something to balance the energy around. That's actually, it's very good when you are working with it, when you can give consultations, because it will be a source of income for you. But as someone who's entertaining, and of course when you sell a book, that's also good for you as a writer or the one who wrote the book. But for me, as someone who bought the book in a hope to discover something about life that I didn't pay attention to, or something that will make my life better, I believe that this book, if I applied the rules of it, it will make creating events for me and entertaining more hectic, more stressing. I don't think it will make a difference because none of this is actually tested, or none of it is actually based on something. You never know what is based on. It's just ancient Chinese art of arranging objects, which is charming to say, but you can't really see or put your hand on a clear result. So the same like my bedroom decor. I can't really say that when I made this corner in that way, that this changed my life in such a way. No. I'm someone who was raised with my mother, who was so interested in palm reading, dream explanations, horoscopes. So I was so much numerology. That was part of my daily life with my mother, If I have an appointment, for example, I need to know when is this appointment, what is the date, I add the number. So it was part of my daily life to check everything according to horoscopes and calculations and energies and all that. And I was doing this because, as I said, I was raised with my mother who was interested in this. And when I meet someone, I always ask them, when were you born? Because I really need to know what is, not just his year, but also the day, because this is the Japanese horoscopes, which is more accurate to know when exactly the person was born. And then if I discover that he's born in a day that doesn't match with me, then I'm like, oh my God, this one, that's not good. And so I lived this life for a while, trying to predict the future, trying to see what is good, what is bad, and make all those calculations. And I can tell you now, after, I don't know, all those years, is that it is a waste of time and energy, or this is what I think now, after my experience. As I said, it took a lot of my time and my effort and my brain thinking, this interview, for example, is at this building number this, so today is the day I don't know what, and the sun is so it was a lot of stress, and also, even if I would know that this will not work out, that's not good, because you are just going disappointed already. That's why I don't think that it is good to be bothered about all those energy things. So for example, now I'm still interested in this, I'm still interested in discovering what's out there in the world, but I wouldn't let it control my life. So now I just met someone new recently. I didn't ask her what is her birthday, it just came later on by coincidence, when just the conversation brought us to asking. She asked me like when I was born, so I just told her, and she told me as well. But it wasn't in my mind like before I talk to anyone, I need to really know when they are born to see if we will match or not. And the same with this Feng Shui. I mean, it was fun for me to make my bedroom according to the Feng Shui, and because it's inspiring, it made me think, for example, of where to put the mirror and hide it, what colors I would put. For example, in the blessing corner and luck, I put a red color when I first designed the room. Now I changed it, but yeah, it was fun to do it, and I think you should keep astrology, Feng Shui, whatever, to the fun part. So for example, if it's going to inspire you, if it's going to give you ideas, like now for entertaining, for example, what food I will make or how I will divide the table, it's okay. But if it's going to stress you and you say, oh my God, if this person sit with that person, maybe they will have a big fight and I need to do something about it before even it happens, that's not good. And recently I went on a trip, for example, and if I would follow all the rules and predict what would happen, and I would know that we will have a fight in the bus, I would be stressed from the beginning, even before we get in the bus. But because I just leave everything now and just face the moment, in the moment, we had the fight with the woman. It just didn't take 3 minutes and it was done. And it didn't affect me before, it didn't affect me even after. So yes, if Feng Shui is going to make your life more fun, try it out. But if it's going to make you more stressed and bring fear in your life, then I would say avoid it. And that's my unique view about Feng Shui. If you have a story with Feng Shui, if you tried it out, you can write me down in the comment. Now I need to give away those 2 books of Feng Shui because for now I'm not interested. This is a video in the series Unique View, and if you want to know more about my unique views of the world, you can check the series out.